Lemon, lime, soda skies, lucky like a four-leaf clover. Strawberry, slice of life, singing with a sip of nectar. Sweet like honey on a summer day, I'll stick with you through the wind and the rain. Sweet like honey on a summer night, like a busy bee, take a flight. 3, 2, 1, go! Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Flying high, take the dive, blue waves across the ocean. Honey straight
No.
from the hive.
Oh, just it's saying that it started. Well, that's silly. Let's get desktop audio. I guess I always have desktop audio. I just normally have it. Yeah, whatever. Yo, hey. Ignore that. There we go. All right. Hey guys, how's it going? How's it hanging? How's life? I'm ippy. I'm ippy today. Started late. You know, I have it set to baby steps, but we're gonna change that. We're gonna play Mario today. Are we? We'll do baby steps, it's fine. I'm just being indecisive because I don't know what I want to do. But baby steps is on my list that I want to play, and really I just want to hang out with you guys, so we'll hang out with you guys today. Do I have a bad habit of using mechanical pencils to pick my nails. And I shouldn't do that because, of course, I draw on the inside of my nails and then it just gets dirty in its own way. I also think I scratched them on the inside. That's something interesting. Graphite, depending on how you think about it, actually is very scratch resistant. Which sounds ridiculous to people because, no, you can scratch graphite with a piece of paper. But that's because it actually just shears away from itself. It peels away in little layers really easily. But if you've ever had, like... If you've ever been writing with a pencil and suddenly find a... Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I was just looking at my nail bed and I have, like... a bit of nail bed missing. Or like the nail isn't attached as early as the rest. Anyway, yeah, graphite will shear off in layers, but if you've ever been writing with a pencil and suddenly find like it feels like a really sharp bit in the pencil and you scratch through your paper. Yeah, that's because graphite's actually really scratch resistant. It just normally shears away in little teeny layers, and you've happened to find a crystal. That's your fun physics, chemistry, material science fact of the day. Got cleaning my nails and got distracted by that, but now I really want them clean. That was actually... I used to chew my nails something awful. And to be fair, I still do a little bit when I'm stressed, so I can't say that, particularly if I'm off meds, so I can't say that that's completely one thing or another. But why I chewed my nails was in response to them getting too long and being able to feel them and them feeling wrong, dirty, bad. And then at a certain point I realized that, and I started just trimming my nails really short and just taking good care of my nails. And that plus ADHD meds, but even a little bit before ADHD meds, more or less got my habit broken, with the exception of if my nails are a little bit long while I'm driving. Particularly because I'll think of stuff and I get into low-key ADHD mode while driving. Quiet day. I guess it's my fault for starting so late. People assume that you're not going to be on, and so they... Or... I'm going to switch to just chatting. Even baby steps, like I'm going to keep it really quiet for you guys. I'll hear it full volume, but let's... Should have audio with that. Interesting. I'm gonna switch over. Ignore anything for a second. I just need to see. Okay, still same capture card. So if I'm here, did just need to see it for a second to believe it. Interesting. We're gonna bring its volume pretty far down for you guys, not all the way off. It's already actually pretty quiet, so I guess I can bring it right here. Do another stretch. All right. I might be switching games randomly today. All right. Ow. Peeled off a bit of dead lip and found live lip at the other side of it. Stung a little bit. There's a thing been said that you should really be playing to YouTube. Should be looking for the YouTube chat. Actually, I wonder. If I look at YouTube chat, find my... what I'm curious about is if I ever get shatters. I think I have combined chat. I'm not sure actually. I think I don't actually. Interesting. Oh God. Stop. 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 You need to... multi-chat and read only, but I assume that if I... not gonna go there with other account. Well, hey, is there anybody? We got Minx in chat or anybody? Cole maybe? It's fine. All right. Well, at least I can see chatters there. In theory. It's in read only, but that shouldn't be a problem for me. I don't use it anyway. Let me grab my controller real quick. Manager Esquire! Yeah. Hey, Zoe. How's it going? How is life? You see the teaser for new ring IDs we're getting? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. We're getting Adversity 60? Oh, I didn't even notice that one. To be fair, part of that is because I unlocked hard mode last season, but then because I worked through story mode at a glacial pace, I have hard mode locked again because I haven't finished 820. The good news is my glacial pace means that I first experienced shoot, my brain. Night sweeping. I first experienced that fully voiced. So, that's pretty cool. And you'll be forced to clown on them with Sinclair. Yeah. I've underestimated how good the sync IDs are. I kind of expected that they'd fallen off, and I really, for the most part, I don't. It is a personal failing that I don't poise to me is flavoring on top. It's not the... Oh, wait. No. You're so right. No, I experienced the... No, nocturnal sweeping is. LCB regular checkup. Jeez. My brain, some days. Yeah. No, I was being goofy, I guess. I forgot also that's, man, nocturnal sweeping feels so much a part of the Kanto, doesn't it? Like, some interfollows really do feel like an introduction. They feel like just kind of, they're there. They introduce concepts and sometimes characters, but they're not directly tied. That's how I felt with the chicken interfollow. I don't even remember what that's called. Hell's Chicken. Hell's Chicken, very random, not too attached. Even SEA, when we were getting the frickin' boat together, like, yeah, we see Ishmael being really negative, but we're not in it yet. We didn't get any intervallo to lead in Encounter 9 because of the Arknights collab felt good. Cold open. Counter 9 was really good. Is it really not an interfollow there? I guess if I was labeling the interfollow, it would be the attack on the facility. And yeah, Kanto 3 was heavy, it's true. I've been working off of the opinion, the belief, that the Kantos tend to go really dark to... They're always emotional, but, really emotional, less emotional, really emotional, less emotional, right? And now I need to pull up Limbus Company. Gosh darn it, that's not what I'd had ready for today, but I need to look at stuff to compare against what we're chatting about. I should add back in, I had a channel point reward for which was make a D&D character fast make. Just do a quick, you give me a concept and I make a D&D character. It was where Ishmael was addressed. Like, it did feel directly attached for sure. And I guess Nocturnal Sweeping is as directly attached as SEA, but it just flows so smoothly into Kanto 8 that I always forget that it is the Interfollow 2. Yeah, and having not finished Ruina, like, I'm in the last act, I nearly distorted seeing everybody popping back. I'm like, huh? That's not allowed. Why are you here? And then I said that I wanted to finish Ruina before I went further, but then I didn't. And now I'm actually fully caught up on Limbus story, but still need to do the last little bit. I'm about halfway through the very last fighting the ensemble in Ruina. They are long fights. All of the ensemble fights are fairly long. Not super hard. The thing that I'd done, I did this a little bit last month before. God, time is fake. Was that I dug my heels into everything. I have all of the people, and part of why I have all the people, one is to have a complete library because it would feel wrong not to. But also, actually, I think I might be missing a book, and it kind of is a burr in my saddle, but oh well. What I was saying, one of the things that I decided to do, which is kind of crazy, but so far has been working out for me, is that each of the floors has their own team going into the ensemble fights. And I'm not just trading any of the teams around. I am actually just running. I built each floor their own functional team based on the fact that they could all beat Hana Association. And some of them are scuffed. I have added a couple of the ensemble cards into my deck for a couple of the weaker ones because the ones that I felt were less competent. But yeah, I made a complete team for every floor, which you can tell, and even my friend who is much more into Project Moon than me and has done it all a couple of times, said like, no, you can't do that. It's going to be too hard. I'm like, we'll try it, and if I screw up, then I can go back and fix it, just to have the 4 best teams. But I want to have each library with a dedicated team. And I did it. And the thing that I noticed very quickly, I could give them all decks, but distributing good passives, the librarian whatever things, I don't remember what they're called in game, but giving the passives for like making sure that every librarian was decked out with passives. I'll just keep calling it passives. For all of, 9 floors times 5 librarians, so like 45 librarians. Getting 45 librarians to actually have passives from other key pages and be functional like that, I ran out super hard. I was definitely digging into my list and trying to really micromanage. I will say, people keep saying that Library of Ruina has a difficulty spike, and I haven't reached it yet. So maybe there's a wall that I'll reach sometime in the ensemble, but so far, like, so long as you are... There were times, I'll admit, like, my very first... I don't remember, what difficulty level was it? Where's Tamari? What danger level is Tamari in? Whatever. At that difficulty level, that's the first time that there's a couple of different branches that you can go on. Maybe not the first time, but the first time I really noticed it. And I followed the Tamari branch all the way up to Tamari. Almost first tried Tamari, but did lose. And I was tempted to try to figure out the way to get to Mary without doing the other content first. Then I did the other content, and to Mary was not difficult. And that's things that I got a couple of times, like Xiao is a beast. I have a lot of teams that can beat the Hana Association and can't beat Xiao because Xiao is just, holy shit, too strong. That said, if you defeat Purple Tear and you do everything else, then Xiao's not that hard of a time. Iori, that's Purple Tear, right? Not recognize the name Iori. Okay, yeah. Purple Tear is not bad. You just need to have two good teams for her, and a lot of people get walled because they get too used to only running one team with all of their best stuff, good stuff comps, right? Or leaning a little bit too hard on Gebera, who's a beast. I was doing fine with Gebera, then I blew my ult too early because I got cheeky. Oh no, that happened with Zhao, that I blew it early, and then I got kind of fucked with Zhao despite almost first trying her with an underpowered team with Gebera. Hey, Domika, we're talking about Limbus. Well, library technically right now. But any amount of teams between Gebera and Bina can pretty well handle Iori. I guess you technically... There's no way that you could not have unlocked Bina at that point, right? I'm not sure. Not looking at it. But yeah, I understand how Xiao could be a wall. She's very difficult, but you just need to have a really solid team or two. Once I'd beaten the rest of the stuff and went back to her with my best units, for a while I was trying to beat all of Zhao with all the teams, but certain teams are just poorly suited to fight Xiao, right? You need to basically... You need to have really good single... you need to have really good single target damage to beat Xiao. And some good clashing. Bird up or rock and roll, always an option. Always an option. But I was not walled by Xiao. I have not been walled by anything except for... Well, no. Xiao did beat me. And Temeri beat me when I tried to first try Temeri without having done the rest of the side content. I have been fearful. It has been hard, but I have not been walled doing ensemble fights with highly underpowered librarian teams because I divided up all of my best attributes among all of the floors. All of my floors are currently pseudo-viable. I'm actually in the middle of one of the ensemble fights, so I can't show off all of the floors. Not in the middle, but like, you know what I mean. The ensembles go in pieces. Yeah, I did all the realizations. And I know that changes whether you get good or bad end. Not, which ends you get. My plan is that I did all the realizations so that I have the best end, and then I will... And yes, very stupid question considering that I'm saying that all of the floors are competent, because I don't think you could have all of the floors be able to beat Hana Association if they weren't realized. I mean, you could have an unrealized floor beat Hana Association, don't get me wrong. But you couldn't have all of them simultaneously be strong enough to beat Hana Association without them all realized. because I am using so many B tier librarians at this point, right? So that makes it hard. And we're talking all floors. That's something that I did. I can't show off anything with Library of Ruina right now because I do have I'm in the ensemble fight, and so that kind of is semi-scripted. Not scripted, but like I can't show all my floors. But I spent about a month in my downtime and just doing this and that and a little bit of other stuff. Seen someone melt faces and wasn't fully realized Hawkman you saw it. Oh yeah, I'm not saying you can't melt faces. Don't get me wrong. The only thing is, since all of my floors have to be simultaneously powerful, it means that like my Hawkma floor is just the Night Owls. Like that's all that Hawkma has backing him up. We have the Yassad's one of my weaker teams because I had... No, not the Night Owls. Hawkma's being supported by... Why did I say the Night Owls? Hawkma's being supported by the... What's the most recent Otis ID? Help me out. What's that organization? The Ujat, yes. There we go. Hawkma is being supported by 4 Ujat, which are not top tier. They're fine, but they're not top tier. But they give Hawkma what he needs. I have Yassad actually is the one who has the Night Owls and a couple of other people. It's a little bit sketchy, but you make do. I gamed it out, and most of the floors are allowed to have 2 speed 3 characters, right? Because that's just how it divides up. And so some of the floors I do have with an extra speed 3. If they need extra support, some of them have no speed 3 characters because I can do things without them. Hawkma is one of the people who does not have any speed 3 characters except for himself. He has a speed 3 person, and the others are all speed 2s. The Ujat. We have, as said, Yassad has 2 just regular Night Owls, not even Bayard with him because... Sorry, not even Alan with him. He does also have Bayard. But yeah, they have a bunch of purple IDs, librarian key pages, because there's just not enough premium pages to go around to supply 9 floors. And when I was trying to divide up attributes for the 9 floors, I got double screwed because not only are there not enough good key pages to divide up between 9 floors and have them all be competent. Once you're trying to divide up attributes, I'm like, okay, who gets Mind Hauler? Who gets Health Hauler? We have an extra Hana Association page. Do I use that as a standalone unit, or do I use that as attributes? Do I was talking with friend just yesterday, about how back in Ishmael's Kanto, I can never keep track of which one's which. That's Kanto 4. Ricardo was a insurmountable wall, right? We were not expected to fight Ricardo to any particular end. Just like 5? Dang. Okay, so that recently, In Canto 5, Ricardo... Okay. Man, I love these songs, Canto. One of my favorites still. Mostly I liked Yi Song's growth in the Canto a lot. I think that not all of them get equal spotlights. The one who I felt worst about, honestly, people rag on Canto 1 a lot, and that's partly because I think that it got eaten up by tutorial stages a lot. But I think they did a decent job for Gregor, and Gregor obviously still has story ongoing. Fucking Rodion, I felt like we didn't get personal stakes with Rodion until so deep into it that the rising and falling action, we had so much preamble working our way through the floors, which I guess were like we saw bits of Rodion, but it didn't have any weight to it until we got really even the final gamble when she won her gambling. Like, it wasn't weighty, except for her meeting her childhood friend. Really, all of the weight in Canto 2 happened after the card game. And yeah, and then you start to get stuff, but it never hit for Rodion. And so I would really like to see a Canto 2 remastered something, right? Who are your favorite schmucks? True, honestly. Oh, yeah. Effie and Sod are chef's kiss. Everyone caught... Okay, spoilers. Canto 8, I guess. So, La La La, people who aren't in Canto 8 yet. But they really, during... Really, Nocturnal Sweeping. Spoilers, Nocturnal Sweeping. They really just dropped on us in the middle of just casual talk that are like, oh yeah, you can recover anything so long as the head's not destroyed. Unfortunately, when they went to kill Effie, they went straight for the head. And they just dropped that there and let it kind of hang. And we have a couple of sinners go like, oh, right. And it just moves on. They don't recount it for you. Okay. You know what I love about Project Moon? Project Moon, so good. They give a lot of have faith in their audience. They don't spoon feed it. One of my least favorite tropes that you see in a lot of gacha games, freaking, God, what's the main Hoyoverse title? The first one, not the first one, but the one that, Genshin Impact. I got so annoyed frequently that you finish a section and then they go back and they tell you what happened in that section that you just did, right? Just over and over again. They spoon feed you plot that you might have forgotten while you were doing side quests. And then they randomly act like you've known somebody forever because you see them in a side quest or something, but you haven't formally been introduced to them, and so you just are treated like you know them, and they do, like you say, miles of exposition. So many miles. And Limbus, Project Moon, has the faith in their audience. They give the audience enough credit that when they say, oh yeah, by the way, Effie can't is dead because they went for his head, and she says that, but Sod says that, and it's kind of like, she knows, and you know, because Otis, like you say, did go for the mercy kill, and that was several cantos ago, and if you've been doing cantos as they came out, that was years ago, right? So, like, you're forgiven for forgiving it, but that is a... Can you even call it an Easter egg? It is a beat that is given for people who are paying attention. And they trust that for the people who get it, it will hit hard, right? The absolute... Slight nudge, appreciate at times. Yeah, sure. No. Hoyoverse writers, I've heard that some Hoyoverse projects are better than others, but I agree that I wouldn't trust them for anything with heavy subjects. In fact, they kind of stumble into heavy subjects in projects like Genshin, where they're not even trying to be heavy. And where I formally quit Genshin and said, I'll play it as a completed work sometime, maybe, was freaking the Dia issue, where they had a character who was much loved by the audience, and they clearly hadn't wanted her to, like, they had made her to be a 4-star or something, but people loved her. They made her a 5-star, and they made her bad. Worse than almost any 4-star in the game, worse than 5 stars. She now has a place, I hear, where she's actually in a couple of teams good, but like, she's just, and so much of her kit would be fine. They just never went and did the extra layer of polish, right? And that pissed me off, that they saw a community love a character, and rather than give her a round of polish, they just made her free. And I'm like, this is unsatisfying. But, that all aside, in the same section of the game, granted, falling back on. So anyway, Fantasy China for the second city. I mean, to be fair, Dom, how many American games are you just playing as a surrogate for American military, if not literally American military, and the enemy is vaguely Middle Eastern or maybe Russian? Like, how many American games are literally set in New York? It's not that crazy. Or Los Angeles. But, those teeny grievances aside, yeah, City franchise, exactly. But I know, I'm just pointing out, like, that is a staple of any production team for the most part, right? You even see it with Limbus that, yeah, Korea gets a little bit of gets a little extra love because they're a Korean team. You just roll with it. Project Moon is not as blatant as other groups, but trying to make it look like Type Moon or JK here, but they make it too verbose and convoluted. I was so angry with Genshin. The things that took me out of Genshin and the Dea was kind of just the shit cherry on top of the shit cake was, one, when in the name of good, they messed with a girl's brain, that they made her believe things that they took over somebody, messed with her relationship with somebody else, and then had her she still remembered it, and they fucked with her brain. To me, that is the most invasive, negative thing. Like, we don't fuck with brains. People's sense of self is the taboo, right? Of all of the things that you can do, messing with how people think of themselves, and even to a certain degree, their relationships, with Nahida. They needed to make somebody have a falling out with the sand deity, whatever, something. And so they hijacked somebody else, questioned them about it, made them feel like because she believed in sand god, that her religion was that she had lost favor, that a previous friend thought less of her, and then just left it there. Neither going back and fixing it for the person that they hijacked or the person that they used as a tool. And I'm all for, okay, here's one of my other things I have to say. I don't mind characters doing bad things for the sake of a greater good in games, right? But it needs to be explored. It needs to be sat with for a second. Feel heavy that you are doing something terrible for the sake of a greater good, right? You need to be willing to sit with it. And they don't do that. There's also, in Nahida's main side quest, some just really obvious racism against the desert people, which was like, holy shit, that's really... And they don't explore it. They, in fact, have you as the... Something that I should also comment, I'm okay with the main character being a bastard. The thing that's important if the main character is a bastard is that they should not be a player surrogate, right? They should be their own character who has their own strong things. Genshin kind of wants to have their cake and eat it too, that Traveler is both a player surrogate and their own character. Like, they have their own plot points, but outside of one or two major plot points with their sister, they're mostly player surrogate, right? And you get to make choices for them as the player surrogate. If you have a player surrogate who does awful things and says racism bad, but then ultimately sides with the racist character and says, you guys just need to have a thicker skin, but they are acting as a player surrogate, that's really bad. If nobody calls them out on it, ever, that everything they do is just considered the moral stance, that's bad. If you're going to be at all morally gray, you need to treat it as morally gray. And what's worse is that I do not, after watching everything that happened during that section, I don't know. I don't trust that the Hoyoverse writers realized that they were being morally gray when they did this stuff, right? And that makes me... I can't support a game that has a player surrogate main character doing some truly horrendous stuff, getting no blowback at all for it, and a team that defends their choices, right? Like, that convolution of things pisses me off. And I can't support that kind of nonsense. But that's why Hoyoverse stumbled into heavy material where they casually had a very racist character be more sympathetic to the main character than the people who were having racism done to them, who frankly did nothing wrong in the side story within the Nahida Kanto. I can't think of it outside of Kantos now. When you start digging in, like, chapters, none of the people with darker skin are very well represented or very good. That isn't strictly true, but you do see a big how pale is your skin power divide in the game. They have it's just weird nonsense after weird nonsense, right? Taking over someone's brain. I think, okay, this is something that's very me specific, but I do think that who you are is how you think, right? I think that if you change how you think, you change the person you are. It's the same reason why I dislike time travel plots where it doesn't work and they reset things. If you reset people to a former state, then you've effectively killed the person they became. Right? You just killed a person because you wiped away their memories. And that needs to be handled carefully. I can allow people some grace on not believing that wiping someone's memories is killing them, because I know that not everybody has that thought, has that philosophy with me. But I do think that using divine powers to mess with somebody's mind is a very dark act. Literal brain control, right? Stuff that you would hesitate to have the villain of a movie use because it's so just ridiculously over-the-top villainous and also a MacGuffin, and then having it be done uncritically and unapologetically by good characters and nobody even hesitating on it, or they like hesitate and like, well, but I don't feel good about it either, but we have to do it. And they go, well, okay, good enough for me. That feels really bad. And so, yeah, I don't trust Hoyoverse to touch heavy subjects in the way that Project Moon does, because man, I kind of want to have Limbus as my background as I'm giving these big chats. But yeah, Project Moon makes me cry with their nuance and good things. I'm not going to spoil Kanto 9 for people who haven't gotten in there, but the first couple of bars of the song of Kanto 9 is an emotional trigger for me right now, that I will immediately start to feel emotional hearing that song because it was so well used in the Kanto. And the canto hit those emotional notes so well. Project Moon has their writing chops. I was talking with a friend yesterday. Sure. And if I was ranking my cantos as far as like emotional feel, I think 9, 6, 7, I guess 8. I feel like 8 is better than 1, but that's mostly because it was given more room to breathe and they had more time working on their writing chops. I feel like if 1 was remastered, redone right now, Kanto 1 might hit harder than 8 for me, but it wasn't, so it doesn't matter. And thank you, Saribot. We do have an ad starting in a minute. If you're enjoying conversation, if you don't like seeing ads, feel free to use an ad blocker. It doesn't harm me at all, and I don't care enough to say not to. But you can also subscribe, get gifted a sub if you have Prime. Make sure you're using your Prime on somebody every month. If it's me, all the better. But if it's somebody else, Bezos does not need your money. It's free. And otherwise, if you watch 3 minutes of ads, you won't get any more for the next hour. And then a couple of the ones like, oh, I missed 4. Ooh, I might have to rank 4 above 8 for me personally. Yeah, 4, then 8, then 5. Do I put 5 above 8? No, surely not. No. 8 has the hit towards the end, and it does matter, and it is a self-realization chapter, and I do think learning to love yourself and learning that it's okay to care for other people is valuable. But I mean, all of them have a lot of loving yourself, and it's just kind of, you know. So I guess 8, then 5, then 3, 1, 2 at the very bottom. I mean, I did warn you. What was I thinking? Kanto 6 hit. Yeah, a little bit delayed. I usually give the minute the warning 1 minute before. And turns out that my warning spiel only lasts about 30 seconds. To me, Canto 6 being hit or miss feels crazy. It's... Okay. Now I need to think of... Oh, you know what I can do? Just open that up. Anyway, ad's done in 10 seconds, so we're back being fine. Dum bum ba dum ba 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 ba. Da, ba, 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 ba. I can't imagine 6 being very... I mean, I guess it can be hit or miss, but to me, Canto 6 is just so... It's one with a lot of build-up that's unrelated, but the hit is so strong that I can deal with it, right? Like, Canto 6 kind of has a lot of the same issues as Canto 2, but they drip feed you little bits of what's going to be happening throughout it, and when it hits, the climax, in the rising action into climax into it actually happening was very good. I think if I was rating associated songs, Millie songs, Canto 9 is at the top. Then, which I can't remember even the name of right now, unfortunately. All I can think is S is not for Sayonara. Canto 9 at the top. Patches of Violet, to me, is above Hero. I like Hero. Hero's is number 3 for me. But for me, it's 9, 6, then 7. Tian Tian, I read the English translation subtitles last week, and it makes it better, but it's still... What's theme song in Evil Defining? I can't even think of this. Weird, I can only really think of 6, 7, and 8, and 9. Even for Canto 4, and I loved Canto 4. Compass? Compass is good. Definitely nothing against Compass. Yeah, I figured. I did like, Your song still has my favorite, credits song. I like his little mumble rap in between lyrics. Yeah, I am seriously, though, struggling to remember what the Kanto theme song battle theme was for the earlier ones. Compass for evil defining. And I do like Compass. I like Compass a lot. It just isn't as good as... do I like Compass more than Xian Xian? Toss up. Oh, Fly Broken Wings. Duh. Thank you for the hint. I think... Alright, let's grab tier list. One sec. I need tier maker. Grab my... One of these is fine. Tier maker, reject all. Okay. So this is for specifically the music. Let me pull that up and let's see. Saikai is the most recent one. We'll go to the Millie website and see. There's Hero. There's Compass. Should find. You know what? Let's see if there's already tier maker, Limbus songs. Here we go. God, I'm going to have to do it by the picture. Okay. Saikai is easy S tier. And we will put... Okay, I have to say right now, like, this is, you know, our... This is the disclaimer. We're grading on a curve. Mealy does not miss. And so I can't... God. Wait, that's not Patches of Violet. Okay, so... Here's Patches of Violet. Easy yes. Hero... If we have 5 ranks, we need to put 2 apiece. So Hero is top of A. You know what? I'll put Hero bottom of S. God, but I'm not... I don't know their... I need to search. All right. Um, I'm struggling remembering Between Two Worlds. Give me like a lyric to trigger memory. That's Hero. That's what I thought. Not enough. Give me a lyric, please. Okay. Saikai. Tian. Gonna put in C for now. It might be the bottom, but I can't think of it. Compass, I liked. It's just not as good. Here, I'll just. One minute. Ah. What Kanto did was Between Two Worlds in. Fly Broken Wings, Compass. This tier list is trash. Doesn't have In Hell We Lament. I know it's only the screen, but Fruition Mother. Yeah. I think it's my least favorite of the Limbus songs. It's good, don't get me wrong. It's just All right, so what else do we have? We have... Okay, so there's... Oh yeah, it looks like compass was the first. So you're right, we don't have... And then a bunch of battle tracks, I guess. So do I have everything? We have 9, 8, 7... Wait, 9... 9, 8, 7, 6... Wait. I did this wrong. And then there's compass, or between two worlds and compass. Where was... Okay, in third chapter. Yep. Maybe to you. I did not feel... It didn't hit particularly huge for either one. I generally like Compass more. So, like, while I am giving points for how they are used within the canto also, at the end of the day, it's also just the ones that I like the most. So very bottom is Compass. It's the only one that I don't listen to just casually. Sorry, not Compass. I just said Between Two Worlds. Shantian, I've grown to appreciate more, but among Mealy songs, it's not my favorite. Need to... add, one moment. Gonna... hide that just for a second, because I am going to... We need... All right, and we back. Cromer's normal human image of friend of Sinclair to hurt Mr. Parasite. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it just doesn't hit for me. And we'll put In Hell We Live Lament. As used in Limbus Company, I would put it like here. Normally, with just how it is actually, we'll put a little bit higher. But I think this is my Limbus Company melee tier list. Psycho's obviously top of S tier. Musicianly, like, if it was just for listening, I would put it like this, but the feel, how it hits in game puts it top of S tier, S plus tier. Patches of Violet is my personal favorite song. I think it's very good. It's very hard. I think the duet is incredible. Actually, all three of these have duet parts. We are ranking Kanto songs. Yes, that is exactly what we doing. We've had kind of a winding road conversation over the last... Okay, I will say this is on the curve of melee songs, right? We're grading on a curve. It is my least favorite. It is the only one that I don't listen to casually, and while it hits more in game, it never hit for me. Part of that is that I'm a lyricist and the lyrics aren't crisp, I guess. If I was ranking, like, just related to regular music, then it would be... right around here for me. As said, Between Two Worlds is the only one. I've defended this to Dom also, that I don't listen to, that I would not choose to listen to normally, just like as part of my listening routine. And it didn't hit any harder than any of the others did in game for me. With it being compared against melee songs, it ends up in D tier just because it's my least favorite of them. Shantian and, like, I like Compass. And I even like Shantian, even though it didn't hit particularly hard at the time. But just don't hit as hard. And How We Live Lament, we have to knock some points also for the fact that we only get the orchestral version, the orchestral? Is there another word for lyrics removed? Whatever. We don't get with lyrics in game. We get it as an opening. We don't hear the full lyrics. Fly Broken Wings, instrumental. Much better. Thank you. My brain some days. Fly Broken Wings is very good. And actually, I'm going to move it. We kind of have that gap in B because Fly Broken Wings actually hit me a little bit hard when it was used in game. If we're not talking in game, but just in general, it goes down to B, but I'll move it to bottom of A in game. Hero is very good. I noticed that all three of the top ones involve a duet of sorts, which is interesting. But Hero, Patches of Violet, personal favorite. Favorite one to listen to for sure. But Psycha is very impactful and very impactful in game. So there's my top. I don't know. Okay, make a case. Domica had very similar feel that Domica rated Between Two Worlds above Compass. Make the case for it. Like, it has more gameplay impact. Cromer's normal image of Francis Sinclair to the sword Parasite. She is in second phase. Like, I guess. But honestly, at least for me, Cromer's Pacatula form was just Cromer with the mask off. Like, that's always been Cromer, and I don't like Sinclair was afraid of Cromer since day one. Her becoming monstrous on the outside wasn't a shock to me. But it could also, once again, be me just not appreciating the old style, very slow church-esque music very much. Between Two Worlds is somewhere in the top 3 for thematic appropriateness fitting the feel of the canto. If I'm rating on feel of the canto and thematic appropriateness, all right. Pulling everything to D just for a second and thinking. I'm actually going to take In Hell We Live Lament out of there. Yeah, but I don't think that's Bewitched so much as Sinclair being a pushover. If we're looking at thematic feel of the canto, Psycho's still S tier. I do actually appreciate that you're right. Within the feel of the canto, this is a kind of conglomerate list of how much do I like it as a song individually, how much did it hit emotionally, how much does it fit the canto, how much did it hit with me during the canto. Psycho. Give me the pronunciation guide, Tara. God, that's hard because I say rating on a curve. All right, pronouncing it. All right, cool. I need to think on. I think appropriateness and how it relates with the canto, I would rate more like this. Chan Chan getting the bottom just because something had to be there. I could as easily have it like this, I suppose. So yes, I would put what's insanity? I would put Between Two Worlds number 4, related to how it hits with the canto. I might even put Fly Broken... I can't put Fly Broken Wings above Hero, but I did, when the music started to crescendo, when it started to play in the end of Yusong's canto, I felt the emotion. It hit. I think Between Two Worlds is fine. Maybe it's just that I didn't feel the struggle for Sinclair as much, so much as Sinclair was just developing spine. I don't know how to hit that. But I am putting it above Patches of Violet, which, as I said, is my personal favorite song. So, says a lot. Shanshan, Compass. One of them has to be the bottom, and how they relate within the story. I guess I'll put Compass on bottom, but that's hard. Once again, grading on a curve. I can't put them all. This is generic. Nope, because that's not how a curve works. This to me is not, like, yes, it's informative in ranks, but I prefer to actually tear them out. We grade on a curve here. And grading on a curve is that. Y'all too focused on How We Live Lament. Honestly, okay, if we have that, I don't really, as much as I love Lament, I think that the further we get into the story, the more I think that's a banger, but I'm not sure that it fits the themes of the story. So it would have to be on its own in D, despite being a banger song. Let's rank cantos just while we're here. Tier Maker. This should be enough. Fits the city more than story. Yeah, that's fair. I get that it's supposed to be Dante's Hell, like, that's fine. It just... Ooh, we also have intervalos here. Okay. I think that the climax of the Unsevering was best. I'm going to avoid spoilers. Don't worry if you're... Wow! That's... Putting either 6 or 9 in Don't Remember is awful. We'll put Spring Cultivation in favorite. We don't, but that doesn't relate to Dante's experience now. The past is the past. Unloving is graying on the curve, my least favorite. Nocturnal sweeping. Set the stakes well. I'll put it into B. Selva Obscura, I don't remember. I know it was, but it also is them meeting the members of the bus. It's setting up themes. Like, I know it's the prologue. I just don't remember. I don't remember how that felt. Hell's Chicken. It was cute. Also meeting who had Mong, right? Which matters. Like, so I can't say it's just the tutorial. I feel like from my vague memory of it, I actually have to put it similar rank to Hell Chicken, maybe higher, because it introduces the cast. It does, in a very short time, sets up our impression of each of the main characters. It sets the stakes to a certain degree. I might actually have to rank Prologue fairly high from vague memories. Unchanging hit quite hard for me specifically. This is not a objective tier list. If it was objective, I'd have to put it... Right now I'm putting it in A. I liked it a lot. C... I need a... Did I... Oh. Oh, black is awful. We're going to undo that. Delete row. Delete row. C is where I realized that I needed to finish Library of Ruina, and I can't. That is the only thing that I cared about from it. Also, Otis was being a bitch, and I don't actually hate Otis, but I hated her in that. Time Killing Time. And we're going to move Salva Obscura a little bit down. Unconfronting. I guess I like it more than Hell's Chicken, but I don't like it as much as anything above it. Evil Defining. Don't think I liked. It was fine. Miracle in District 20. Not quite as good as the Unchanging, but as good as anything else. Yield my flesh to claim their bones. It was fine. We got to see some of our favorite characters. We got the obelisks. Heartbreaking is very good. Murder on Warp Express. Set the mood for intro 4. Whatever. Set the mood for Dante very well. Dante, Don Quixote. Man, my brain only stops at the first syllable. Dream ending. Yeah, I don't hate that. Regular checkup. I think probably right about there. I like it more than Evil Defining. Do I like it more than Evil Defining? Yeah, for the Don Quixote part. And Canto 8, Surrendered Witnessing. Top of B tier. We're going to move regular checkup down here. Do we move Unconfronting down a bit? No, I guess that's about right. Okay, yep. Like regular checkup above Miracle in District 20. I get that. I will not disagree with anybody putting Miracle in District 20 even like way down in D. Miracle in District 20 just happens to be good, clean fun. I enjoyed learning that Merceau always takes the daily paper and that frickin' Don Quixote reads over his shoulder, takes out the fixer section. That she's goofy. I like the Christmas weird music. Like, I don't know. Miracle in District 20 was stupid, and I kind of loved it. Spring Cultivation is peak. Unsevering was my favorite Kanto, hands down. Dream Ending, I thought was very, very good, and it was consistently very good. It wasn't, I don't know how to, the highs of the Dream Ending, yeah, I guess the highs were actually very high also. But most of it's just that it was fairly consistent feed of information. I liked it from beginning to end. No notes. Unchanging had, I think, higher highs than Dream Ending for me, maybe. But the middle was not nearly as great. Kind of same issue with Heartbreaking, but Heartbreaking, despite having my favorite song and despite having some very impactful things that the weird sub game in Dream Ending did take me out a little bit, but that's a nitpick. Heartbreaking, favorite song, favorite end, had a lot of cool stuff. We saw Vergilius join the team, but a lot of it was slow paced, and I liked most of the characters. Nelly is fantastic. It's fine. Miracle in District 20, honestly, is being overrated, but sometimes you like a little bit of goofy fun, and I'm here for it. Being less forgiving, it should be right in the same rank as C, but C has a specific hatred for me that I saw people from Library of Ruina without knowing how they got out of the library, and that upsets me. Consistently good. I like the story of it more than the climax. Murder on Warp Express, I think, is one of the best intervalos because it leads very well. It sets the stakes for Dream Ending so well. Time Killing Time is another one that's just good fun. I enjoyed the story. Nocturnal Sweeping sets the stakes and the mood a little bit, just not as well as the other two in the rank. Regular Checkup was put a cherry on top of the Dream Ending. It was good, but it dragged a bit, and the later half of it, it wasn't bad setting up Hohenheim's character and doing all that stuff. It wasn't excellent. Selva Obscura, for being as short as it is, set up all of the characters very well and did cool stuff, and I have to give it its props. Honestly, I'm probably underrating it for being very short and not emotionally impactful. Evil Defining, it was good. We met another blue man. The internal trauma and dealing with stuff that Ishmael went through was there. Doesn't have the writing of anything above it. Same issue with Canto 3. Effie and Sod were excellent in it. If I was ranking in order of Effie of side character interactions, Unconfronting might be S tier. Actually, I'll redo that based on how good the side characters are in just a second. And their part in the story. Yield My Flesh to Claim Their Bones. It was fine. I thought it had some interesting things setting up Ezra and stuff, but I think that it's one of the ones that the story could leave out and not be super impactful. Hell's Chicken kind of feels the same way. It was very fun. I liked Hell's Chicken. Don't get me wrong. The music was crazy. Story was crazy. I enjoyed it. It just isn't as impactful to the general story. And unfortunately, Canto 1 got eaten up by just being too short and the tutorial lessons eating into it. Unloving had too much build-up, not enough payoff. So they're at the bottom. They're still good. But and yes, he has the most fan service ties. By fan service, we mean cameos. I guess. I only sometimes care about that. I wasn't even that excited to see Garyon. Okay, side characters. Sprinkled of... let's... If I just refresh this, will it... No. Is that... There should be a button that they have just to undo everything. What if I dump this? Nope. Okay, obviously using cookies, whatever. I will just manually pull everything down except spring cultivation, which I already said is at the top. All right. Limbus side character tier list. Hell's Chicken. Side characters, although they showed up later, never felt very impactful. Didn't care that much. Unsevering has all of the nurse fathers. Gonna put it in B for now, but that might move up. Even though threw away being there for punter, being part of engineer during war, ocean or so, cooking a song post realization, but same trying to change, etc. You're not going to get me off of C being the worst because I had not finished library and it made me distort seeing people from library not be dead. There's nothing you can say that's not going to put C out of my least favorite chapter. Anyway, Outcast. I did like Yuri. Seeing Yuri again was something that got me. I'll even we'll put it there for now. Nocturnal Sweeping. Has a lot of good side characters, but not for I haven't finished Library of Ruina. When I get through the end, it might have changed my interaction of C, but like, you're arguing against something that is not going to change, Dom. Unloving. Unfortunately, introduced Sod and Effie, but they weren't as fun there. I guess we met what was the gang that we stole the clothes from? I don't know. It just didn't feel, the side characters weren't very impactful, except for what's his face? Ting Tang Gang. Yep. Except for Rodion's childhood friend, who we just didn't see enough of. I'm fine with this. Yield flesh to claim their bones. Side character wise, actually very good. Better than the Unsevering. Ooh. Given the amount of time that it had with them, I'm going to put this here just because the Unsevering had to be a little bit rapid clip with its people just because it has so many side characters. It's suffering from bloat, but really these are very close. So we'll see. Time Killing Time. I loved what's his face who happened to be director. He was one of my favorites. Murder on Warp Express. For side characters was actually pretty mediocre. Claim their bones, expand on distortion, which is appreciated. True. Which I need to still read. All right. The dream ending. I'm starting to think I put Outcast too high. I'm moving Outcast to C. Oh, but Yuri. She's carrying it so much. She has, all the emotional weight is on Yuri. Also, ad break starting in currently 39 seconds, 38. If you don't like seeing ads, ad blockers are always an option. Otherwise, you can always get a sub, subscribe, get gifted a sub if you're lucky. And if you have a Prime, make sure you're using it on somebody, even if that's not me. Otherwise, 3 minutes of ads, and we won't have any more ads today. So, yeah. Last ads of the thing. Let's get... Okay, so unchanging. Side characters and unchanging. Ooh. Evil defining side characters. Ricardo is pulling a lot of weight here, as is Kekeg, but just not quite as much as the ones above it. C. I'll give the nod. LCB regular checkup. Hohenheimen gang. Did I put it above unloving? Yes, I do. Unconfronting. Unconfronting, honestly, top of A, maybe bottom of S for its side characters. Effie and Saad are at their best in it, and I, like, as the villain, I do think that we feel Cromer's influence throughout the entire Kanto in a big way. She is I like villains who are not the twist villain. They're the villain that you see at the very beginning of a story, and you know that they're there, and they are an ever-present threat throughout the entire thing. That's Cromer, and she's great at it. So, Cromer, A tier for the villain, and A tier for Effie and Saad's interactions in the Unconfronting. Oh, and that's all of it. Okay. Now we reconsider. I mean, I just said that the whistle debuff I actually don't care that much about, but I did say that Cromer is a consistent threat, so... Now we go back and see if we still believe that. Yeah, I like her more than the side characters in Time Killing Time. Spring Cultivation still is the top of the top. Dream Ending, I'm going to put up because I did like seeing Hana Association, and did I miss? There's 4. Check up built up unsevering for you. Dom. Oh, you're right. I'm so silly. Okay. 6. I'm silly, Tara. You're right. And okay. Ad break over. Dom, You're so right. Checkup built up the Unsevering, but in power of its side characters, it did less with the Unsevering than Checkup. And it just like, yes, we were introduced to Hohenheim and those guys. The side characters just weren't as strong. We are now doing side characters. Now that one's true. Spring Cultivation set up Unsevering beautifully. I wasn't even really thinking of how Ryoshu interacted with kids specifically, but like her giving up smoking and her just touching on that. Very good little touch. But you're right. Surrendered Witnessing, side characters. Very top, I think. Selva Obscura, side characters are interesting, but prey bottom. Miracle in District 20 actually might move Hell's Chicken up because although the side characters are cute, they're not interesting. And Heartbreaking is also going in favorite because I think that Catherine as the unseen side character is incredible. Yeah, I'm considering Unsevering as having all of the crayon. Ooh. Do we count a certain Sinclair as a side character instead of main cast? If we start to consider certain Sinclair and Roach King, Roach Emperor, we might need to move that up. Who's Crayon? Oh, Crayon in oh shoot, where is Crayon? In Unsevering? No. My brain is frying, trying to think. Oh, the Outskirts kid that we saved. Right. Yeah, you're right. Probably better than Chicken Man. And I don't really care about Mysterious Stranger. And we don't know about those. But yeah, I think Spring Cultivation, Heartbreaking are the best Spring Cultivation side characters. Mostly Zhichun. And somebody else are incredible. Heartbreaking, mostly Catherine. Hey, you made it, Cole. They really are. There is the one person whose name I am escaping, who is semi-important in The Unchanging, but Sampo. But he doesn't get enough time to really shine, do anything. These two are both the Kantos that, like, the side characters, whatever. Selva Obscura, you only see the three side characters for a second, but they set stakes. And also you meet the villains very briefly. Sanjo, there it is. Close. C has side characters from library mostly. I love Olga, but she's bottom here. Murder, we see Print, but Crown's better, but she doesn't impact the story very much. But I did move Miracle above Hell's Chicken. Unloving. Yeah, all of these. Nocturnal Sweeping and Regular Checkup introduce characters that we'll see later, just not long enough to really feel the impact, and the rest of it's Evil Defining, Kikig and oh, my brain. I hate my brain some days. I'll get there. But the middle is carrying a lot of weight, and Kikig's carrying a lot of weight there. I like Shmi. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, please. You're just causing me pain. Outcast, I had to put up here mostly for Yuri, but also we were introduced to all of our villains, kind of. Unchanging. They did a lot with the characters, I'd say. Like just the... Man, I can't remember the name of the organization either that he's in. But setting them up and introducing all of them, and a lot of them are the enemies later. I think Unchanging did a lot with side characters. I'm also giving small points to Miri Song. What was it? Song Yi. League of the Nine Literatures. Thank you, Ame. You're very good with names and stuff. Unsevering. Huge points for Nurse Fathers and just so many characters. I'm actually going to move that. Still suffering from bloat. You just don't get quite enough time with all of them to really feel the impact, except for the one. But the one character who's very obvious, but I'm not going to name it because some people I know who are in here have not done Count to 9 yet, so we're being careful. But one character pulls this up a lot. In fact, one character is enough to bump killing time down to A tier, even though I love the director so much. He's so good. Director? Whatever. Unconfronting, as said, just the most omnipresent villain, and also peak Effie and Sod. Surrendered Witnessing is carried on the back of strong side characters. And then my two favorites. So yeah, I stand by that as my list of top tier of tiered side characters in Limbus. What a crazy list to do. These side characters in Limbus. Anything else that I need to do a tier list for? I remember during Nelly edging Heathcliff and Kathy. Sheesh. I did not need to have that in my brain. There's some good Nelly fan art out there. I'm going to be so real. Spring Cultivation might be in upper S tier just thinking of Zilu. Whoa, Nelly. True. Okay. Do you want to do one more tier list? Like family politics in 8, very reminiscent of better historical dramas. Yeah. And very side. As said, Kanto 8. Honestly, the side characters have more of an impact than the main characters, and it's the only one where I would say that. Not to say that our main characters don't do their thing, particularly towards the end, but the side characters, even really small side characters, there's so many. What's the name of the guy who allies with us for like 1 second before wandering off to do his own thing at the very beginning of the test? Where's All White? In Kanto 8. During the hierarch selection. When main characters is the witness of the story, of course, side characters take stage. It could have been heavier with main characters. Like, there was plenty of space for it. Just the side characters were very, very good. All through it. We could definitely have had a different telling of the same story that was more focused on main characters, but like, even what's his face, the stupid zombie boy, was like every side character, even really small ones here, were Wang Zhao. Yeah. Thank you, Ame. Yeah, Wang Zhao was a treat. I think that yeah. That's what I was thinking. Zombie boy is also beautifully unhinged. I don't need to talk about Grandma. Or the side characters are very strong in Kanto 8. Kanto 9, they're similarly strong, but I don't know. They just did not have... They had more presence, but less build-up, I'd say. Saying they were eating balls instead of bullets always gives you a chuckle. How are you italicizing in Twitch chat? But I think that's... With /me? Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Now I have learned something. All right. That was fun. I honestly enjoyed doing all of the random tier lists. And I could feel that I ruffled some feathers with my taste in music. Among other things. But that's part of the fun of tier lists. People getting angry. One of these days, I'll do a spicy tier list. But not today. We'll do that for a subathon or something. Big stretch. All right, forgot that I had that hidden. Let's hide that better. Honestly, not what I was expecting to be doing today, but I do not regret it one bit. This was fun. I need to do more just chatting. If we ruffled each other's feathers, does it make it a cock-off? Cockfighting is illegal in most places. Now, jousting, on the other hand... Dang it. Dom, why did you make my brain go there? I blame you explicitly for this. I need to do more times of just kind of shooting the shit, chatting about random stuff. Thankfully, Project Moon is a very fertile area to talk on. Lots of stuff for it. Let's go. No crying now. Ain't no crying. That's funny. We're clearly talking about Chicken Hay Show. True. Cochlear and Cockcliff is such a crazy... Some of the names that the community has settled on, I don't know even what to think about. I am taking suggestions for a raid. We're gonna raid and run, but here's an artist. With Hong Lu eyes. You know what? What? Why? I mean, okay, true. We couldn't do Cock Song or something. We're gonna raid into artist with those Hong Lu eyes. Terra playing Fail Frame. Yeah, but I raid into Terra fairly frequently. We're gonna raid somewhere new. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I will catch you, another time. Friday. But for now, see you later. Thanks for being here. Night, night. Bye. There it is. Night, night.